11:45. How am I going to squeeze all of this in? Basically, I wonder if we could have 10 minutes of James Hazel's programme. Maybe not, because it's lovely to welcome Matt Porter into the studio. Matt Porter, web design in Martlesham. You're our resident gadget man.
I am indeed,
but
yes.
You haven't got your own series on Channel 4.
No, that was an unfortunate...
was it you or that other guy whose name we can't pronounce, Gadget Man, Richard Ioodi?
I think it's... I think I'm the Gadget Man rather than Gadget Man.
Oh, I see. That's the difference. Well,
I'd like to be a the.
Just whet our appetite. What are we talking about?
We're talking about this morning, we're talking about the Volvo V60 D6 twin-engine hybrid electric car.
Ooh, now I imagine James Hazel, that gets you a bit excited.
I haven't got one of those, no,
but
you're right.
You like your cars, don't you?
It's very interesting that we've had this chat before about... I'm still not there with the whole electric car thing, am I?
It's hybrid.
It's hybrid,
The battery... distance, if you like, is lower because it's got an engine in there. The pure electric have...
The batteries do more harm to the planet in manufacture than the diesel.
No, there is a factory being built in America called the Gigafactory, which has been built by Tesla, and it's completely eco-friendly. The whole production of the batteries.
Okay. Right.
So, if I could buy you a hybrid car, James, would you want one?
You'd have... Well, it's the range. I mean, again, Matt and I spoke about it. The range bothers me. There's still... The range is still not great, is it?
The range on this car combined is 750 miles on this particular car. It's a diesel... electric hybrid, so it has a 2.4 litre engine.
But that's fine. Using the electric on a motorway is fine. That's not where the pollution problem is. The pollution problem's in town.
The electric is likely not to be used on the motorway.
Really?
You're using combination of the two on the motorway. The electric is more likely traffic, stop-start traffic.
Well, that's the important thing, actually.
Because it's not...
Because that's where...
Yeah. Because that's where you use a lot more electricity as well in stop-start traffic in town driving. That's generally electric. And the idea is because cities generally will have complete restrictions on internal combustion engines within them with regard to stopping this pollution. So you will have these cars that will switch to electric during town driving then standard. I think about 176 miles per gallon these cars will do, combined. They really will do that kind of...
As long as I can visit my daughter in Cardiff without having to recharge 8 times, then I'm fine.
The key is the speed of recharge as well, is being able to recharge a battery quickly, and that was always a sticking point. If you try and do it on your normal mains electricity, it's going to take longer, but these rapid charging points at service stations...
So I'm taking over here. I'm really...
it's fine.
Very Partridge-esque of me, but do you think we're going down the right avenue? Because aren't there better ways of producing, for instance, hydrogen?
Yeah.
That's clearly a better way to power something, but we don't seem to be experimenting with that.
Well, the hydrogen is producing electric current anyway, so they are actually using...
And water comes out of the back of it.
Yeah, the byproduct is water, I think that the key here is that if you're going to be using this electric power to power your cars, then you need to be... recharging your car with something that's renewable rather than something that's generated from burning coal or oil, which is the argument that the anti-electric car people will have.
They often... I better go, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. No, that was good. You've asked much better questions than I would. Because when we come back in a few minutes, I'm going to say, is it a nice colour? Matt Porter is here now from Matt Porter Web Design. He's our resident gadget man. You have been driving the Volvo V60 D6 twin-engine plug-in hybrid, talking to James about the ins and outs of hybrid technology and battery technology. But what about the colour? What colour is it?
It's kind of like a charcoal kind of colour. It's quite pleasant actually. It's a very nice car. As always, this car I've had for a week. It goes back tomorrow. The press offices will lend me it for a week, so I get quite a good idea rather than an hour's test drive in it. It's using it day by day.
And did you drive to Inverness and back?
No, I haven't tried driving to Inverness and back, although there's a lovely place up there that I'm interested in going to see. It's fully loaded, this car, so the press cars always have all the extra options on them and things like that, so it's sort of leather inside. It's got a nice stereo. In fact, the stereo system, there's several that I've seen now where you have internet radio capability on there, so you can listen to music from all over the world, 100,000 different radio stations.
As long as there's some 3G.
That would help, yes.
But 4G would be nice.
That's right.
But when you're driving it, does it feel like a regular car? Would anybody know?
Probably not. You have several modes again. You can drive it as pure, which means it will run on electricity up until the point where the battery can't maintain that anymore. I think it's got a 30-mile range on battery alone. It's also got hybrid, where it uses a balance of the two, and it has another mode which is called power, which gives you basically using the electric motor and the internal combustion engine. So I believe the diesel engine is 220 brake horsepower, which is quite powerful. If you run it with the electric motor, that's an additional 63 brake horsepower, so you're getting about 280 brake horsepower from it. It's quite a lot, actually. It does 0 to 60 in 6.2 seconds.
I mean, that's not too shabby.
It's
that's
pretty
right.
fast.
Does it feel like this is the future?
I've driven several of these cars, and I think, yes, it is the future. It might have been kiboshed slightly in the last few days with the announcements at the budget, because there was talk of this zero-rated road tax, which is what this car is able to have, is that they're going to bring in a standard rate across the board. So it's all about incentives, really. The incentive to drive a vehicle like this, I believe it has a £5,000 plug-in grant from the government and things like that. So it's about incentives to drive them. They're lovely cars to drive.
It's got to come. It's going to happen. It's got to happen. Price?
This one is quite pricey. It's $53,000.
Okay. All right, maybe not get to.
The entry level of this particular model is 27, so there's quite a large difference between the model I have and the entry level on the V60.
But these prices always come down.
They
Matt,
do. Yeah.
You've got to give it back.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah. Alan, in Ipswich, hello.
Hello.
Do you fancy a hybrid car, Alan?
I fancy £50,000. Yes.
The thing is, Alan, you may have won one. If you could, here on BBC Radio Suffolk, if you can name this tune in a manner of speaking. Here we go.
When the wicked carried us away in captivity, required from us a song. Now how shall we sing the Lord's song in a strange land?
Alan, that song is...
Yes, so Rivers of Babylon by Boney M.
It absolutely blooming is. Well done, you. And,
you.
You've got a choice. You can have the hybrid car for 53 grand, or you can have an ugly duckling and a chance to win those tickets to the theatre in Bury St Edmunds. Which one would you like?
I'll of course go for the ugly duck and the tickets, please.
What a clever man. That is the right answer. Alan, well done. Thanks for being a winner on BBC Radio Suffolk today.
That's brilliant, thank you.
Have a good afternoon. Matt Porter from Matt Porter Web Design in Martlesham, thank you for telling us about the future of motoring. Maybe we're not quite there yet. As you get it out the car park here, don't scratch it.
I'll try not to.
Yeah, in fact, I'm surprised you even bought it anywhere near BBC Radio Suffolk.